In the second part of this lecture series on IT governance, we're going to talk about the three classes of IT decision rights. And central to this is the distinction among the three classes of IT assets: infrastructure, apps, and data. So IT governance therefore spans all three figures, and your firm's IT governance is therefore how you choose to divvy up decision rights of your firm's IT infrastructure, apps, and data between your firm's IT units and line functions. A firm can independently assign each of these three classes of decision units. So this section focuses on the decision setting decisions of what each class of IT assets should do. So let's look at the infrastructure governance. IT infrastructure governance refers to whether your line function or unit is responsible for deciding what your IT infrastructure must accomplish. Infrastructure serves the entire firm and is not unique to each individual line function. This firm-wide backbone provides the scaffolding for all business applications used by various line functions, and it is a firm-wide technology substrate that weaves together IT infrastructure, and so it does not really competitively differentiate among firms. As we talked about it, it's costly, competitive necessity, but it's not a differentiator. Economy and reliability matter more than tailoring an IT infrastructure. The infrastructure decisions draw deep on technical knowledge as well as a holistic understanding of your entire firm's portfolio of IT assets. Therefore, centralization of IT infrastructure decision rights with the IT unit where the knowledge is concentrated speeds up IT infrastructure decisions, fosters economies of scale, aggregating because it aggregates firm-wide IT infrastructural needs across line functions, and helps to provide a stable and economical firm-wide infrastructure foundation positions your firm, which then can rapidly adopt business applications. Decentralization of this aggravates the complexity, makes apps harder to tweak, spiraling costs. But centralization, even though we are in the centralization bandwidth, it does require some amount of business input also. So this is in the centralization band. So what kind of inputs do non-IT managers need to provide? So things which here's where the non-IT managers contribute. And they have to answer two questions about IT infrastructure. How good is good enough? And how much reliability and responsiveness is a must for the IT infrastructure which your line functions depends on, right? Now you've got to be careful here because there's a temptation to always want more. Better is costlier than good enough in two ways, right? First, higher reliability costs more. And we measure reliability as the guaranteed percentage of time an IT system is available at 24-hour period, increasing it from 99% to 99.9%, about doubles the cost. So example of kind of a 99% availability is about a downtime per day is about 14 minutes per day. 99.9% availability is about 1.44 minutes a day downtime. 99.99 fault resilient systems are down about 8.66 seconds a day. and 99.999 fault tolerance systems are 864.3 milliseconds down per day. Now, everybody wants it to be 99.999% resilient, but do we really, is that really necessary, because it's going to be very expensive. So decide on the level of reliability you want and can afford. Ask your IT unit for a priced menu of choices for IT infrastructure components important to your line functions, and you have some benchmarking facility. So Netflix targets 99.99%, which is fault resistant. Commercial sites usually look at high availability of 99.9%. Internal corporate IT systems is 99%, and not more than that. Also realize that imperfect technology greases innovation. Contrast your smartphones to the landlines. Smartphones are 99% kind of reliable, where landlines were 99.99%, but smartphones can do more. Overinvestment creates sunk cost barriers to adopt new infrastructure innovations. So realize that that's important. The next IT architecture we looked at was IT apps. Now, IT app governance refers to whether the line function or IT unit decides of what business objective your IT apps must accomplish. Whosoever has this authority must bear accountability. Unlike IT infrastructure, business apps must uniquely be tailored to various line functions. They include customer-facing, production, business support applications, and here responsiveness to business needs are probably more important than economy, because it also feeds into usability. So clumsy application decisions blunt execution of strategy, and so draw on line functions business knowledge of the business processes. And it might be important to decentralize these decisions, because centralization disconnects the applications from business needs, slows IT decisions, and makes business benefits less likely, because you don't focus on the business value and more focused on the technical side. But decentralization demands IT unit knowledge of the total IT portfolio also. So IT cannot be disconnected from this, but it might be that this is more on the decentralization band than in the centralization band. So how decentralized should apps governance be? Where within the decentralization band should your firm locate the application right decisions? It depends on, again, non-IT managers answering these two questions. What IT capabilities should be firm-wide? And when applications are firm-wide, it stretches the apps across multiple line functions, and therefore then you need centralization of the IT app architecture. And also, what is more important, integration across the firms or functional autonomy? And that must match your firm's strategic aspirations. And then which business processes should get the IT dollars? Now, a lot of times, the top performing firms in many diverse industries are rarely the biggest IT spenders. Yet they extract more business value out of their IT dollars by spending them on the right things. The business goals defines the right things. How much should your firm spend on IT puts the cart before the horse. You must begin with clear business goals for IT apps and then set IT funding levels to achieve them. Ill-defined goals lead to IT spending that produces little business impact. Non-IT managers must play a lead role in prioritizing investments in a firm's portfolio of applications. So which IT capabilities should be firm-wide and which business processes should get IT dollars are important questions for non-IT managers to talk about before for the application governance. And then we finally come to data governance, and this is about who the IT or line function has the authority and accountability for decisions about what your firm's data assets must accomplish. Now, line functions activities both generate and use firm's data, which means they are better suited than IT units to make direction-setting decisions about the firm's IT assets. Data governance is not data architecture. Data governance is trickier than infrastructure and application governance because you cannot directly govern data. Rather, line functions' preference about data influences how the IT unit executes other class of IT governance. Because remember, it's the applications which generate the data, and then the infrastructure which then sends the data across the firms. So remember that data governance is about who decides how data will be organized, and not whether the data itself is centralized or decentralized. Don't confuse data governance with data architecture. So this would probably be in the decentralization band. So let's look at data governance here. So, and that depends on 3 questions that non-IT managers should answer. What data is needed faster? What does your line function need instantaneously rather than for record keeping? What data, especially big data streams, is not worth capturing at all? Are we looking at firm-wide versus local data? What data ought to be available firm-wide versus locally in the line function? What fragmented data from what sources must you integrate to improve firm-wide decisions? And finally, stewardship. Which line functions will be the steward of data? Who has access privilege? And then quality control, responsibility for preempting errors. So piecing together the overall IT governance structure into a pattern. So you realize that it's neither everything should be centralized or decentralized. We need to individually choose for each class of IT assets. And governing them differently economizes infrastructure and tailors the apps. And synchronizing requires giving and taking authority away from IT. So here we have decentralized versus centralized, and we kind of felt IT infrastructure is more likely to be centralized, and the application and data are more likely to be decentralized. IT governance is a powerful lever for making IT both economical and synchronized because architecture takes you only pathway to synchronizing IT. You must match it with IT governance to take it the rest of the way. So let's take an example here. And as you can see, when infrastructure decisions are with line functions, it becomes costly. And when application decisions are with IT units rather than line functions, it's unsynchronized. It is when infrastructure decisions are with IT units and application decision rights fall with the line functions that you have an economical and synchronized structure. So let's go to the next slide. So 1 and 3 tend to be very common where line functions decide everything or IT unit decides everything, and you'll notice that you get one or the other. Either it's economical but not synchronized with your strategy, or it's synchronized but costly. And so this way you can get both. So if you match architecture with governance, and if you are looking at a decentralized architecture and decentralized governance gives applications autonomy to evolve with changing needs. And simultaneously, decentralized application governance leverages it. So here is an example here. We have IT architecture and we have IT architecture and IT governance. And when both are centralized, that's under the infrastructure realm. And then when both are decentralized, that's the application realm. When you have centralized governance and decentralized architecture, that's kind of gives it over control. And when you have decentralized governance and centralized architecture, that's chaotic and there's not much control. So 1 and 3 are the places you need to be. The 4 essentially stifles the ability of applications to evolve. And if you're in 2, it's just very chaotic, and you probably will end up with very complex structures. There are too many decision makers, and you'll have chaotic and conflicting infrastructure decisions. So as we talked about, we should be in 1 or 3 infrastructure, probably centralized, and applications should be decentralized. So in summary, IT governance is about who decides about what IT, and it's about the decision rights, which is essentially accountability and authority. And IT governance really helps us give the combination of economies, making it frugal, and then also give it strategic impact. And we discussed how centralizing infrastructure governance lowers cost and decentralizing application governance increases agility. Federated governance looks good in theory, but it's extremely difficult to implement. So the non-IT contribution focus should be what and direction setting decisions, and I think this would help the whole synchronization of governance and architecture.